This 5-meter long 2.2-ton 7-seat SUV is the all-new Land Rover Discovery, and this happens to be the very first time we are driving it on Indian soil. So first order of business to drive it properly on Indian soil. The rolling introduction is in the rain-drenched confines of 19° north in Lonavala. So let's just run through all the off-road gizmos the Discovery comes with. First and foremost, it gets a transfer case. Now it's been a while since a large luxury SUV has come with low range. Then there's obviously Land Rover's terrain response system, which basically primes the steering, the suspension, the engine, gearbox and other electronics for various off-road scenarios. Then there is the suspension that can be raised 75 millimeters from its lowest position to its highest position, taking ground clearance up to a total of 283 mm. Wading depth 900 mm, so there's pretty much nothing that should stop the Discovery. And there isn't. The Disco comfortably saunters on rutted paths, casually climbs up moss-covered rocks, and just dismisses streams and pools of water as if it were taking an evening dip. It's a pity the more challenging bits of the course aren't open to us today. Still, one thing's for sure, this is no poser. The Discovery is big brother to the Discovery Sport and dwarfs almost everything on the road and off it. The look is contemporary Land Rover, but details like the stepped roof, the upright D-pillar and the somewhat odd offset rear number plate link this one to the old Discoveries. And while the Discovery doesn't have the flash value of the Range Rovers and can even look ungainly from the rear, the Disco looks the way it looks for a reason. That is, to provide maximum room for its 7 passengers. Here's how the third row is for a near 6-footer like me. And there you go. You have to wiggle around your feet, but it is usable even for adults. Not the most comfortable of places to be, but as large 7-seat SUVs go, there are few places where you will be better off. As for the middle row, you sit a bit low, and as a result the seating position is a bit knees up. There is lots of space, and you also have the option to move the seat back and forth to make space for the occupants at the back, and there is power control for the backrest. The best seats in the house are the ones up front. With their foldable armrest, they are no less than thrones and also give a captain's view out of the large glass area. The view inside is rather nice as well, with a chunky, long-lasting look to everything. There are also lots and lots of utility spaces in the Discovery's cabin. So there are 2 glove boxes, a large center armrest, and this can be optioned with a cooler box. Then slide this forward, you get 2 large cup holders. Slide that forward, and hidden beneath is another large storage bay. There's one more hidden behind the climate control switches. Each of the doors can hold a 2-liter bottle, and get this, you'll never find your equipment running out of charge. There are as many as 9 charging points for your mobile devices. Speaking of practicality, the Disco also boasts serious luggage carrying capacity. You can electrically fold and retract each of the second and third row seats individually, and with all seats folded, there's enough room for 2 adults to lie down. Also on board is an electrically foldable shelf that can take up to 300 kgs of load. It's something you can even use as a picnic table. The Discovery is available in India with 2 engine options, a 258 HP 3-litre V6 diesel and a 340 HP 3-litre supercharged V6 petrol. Our Nameb Orange Discovery test car is the petrol version, and it sounds mega. With the engine being a V6, you'd expect it to be refined, and it is, but this one also makes all the right noises. Like any other supercharged engine, it whines and it whirs, and it just sounds better and better the more you wind it. And I must say, it is quite nice to have a large SUV that revs all the way to 6,500 RPM. In town, the Disco doesn't feel quite as light on its feet as an Audi Q7, but on open roads, you love the engine for the punch it packs and for how hard and loud it pulls to the limiter. Put to the test, the Discovery raced to 100 kph from a standstill in a shade under 8 seconds, which is impressive for something so large and so heavy. But there is a price to pay for the performance. Large supercharged petrol engines are not known for fuel economy, and there is bad news on that front. We've been averaging about 5 kilometers to the litre, and at times it's even gone down to the lower 4s. That is a fairly worrisome figure, but do keep in mind Land Rover has priced the petrol Discoveries a lot less than the diesel versions. Yes, the petrols are more powerful but are also cheaper, and by a huge margin. So do the math and see which one makes more sense for you. Petrol or diesel, you'll like the way the Discovery, that comes with all-round air suspension as standard, has been set up. This is not a sporty SUV, and honestly it doesn't even pretend to be. Go fast into a corner and you'll find the front end wash wide. But right within the car's limits, and you like the immense feeling of control and how manageable it feels for something so large. What adds to the experience is the steering wheel that has a lovely old school heft to it. The Discovery feels unshakable out on the highway. Ride quality is excellent. The all-round air suspension just absorbs the bumps and gets on with life. There's no residual movement as such, there's no bobbing, there's no shimming. It just absorbs everything that comes its way. In fact, in a fight between the Discovery and the average potholed Indian road, the Discovery would win hands down. Just to recap, the Discovery rides well, drives well, feels tough, seats 7, and can take you places few other luxury SUVs can. So if you are one to use your large luxury SUV to chart new courses, the big on size and big on capability Discovery could just be the one SUV you never knew you wanted.
इसी कभी न रुकने वाले जुनून को रफ्तार देता है सर्वो वर्ल्ड क्लास लुब्रिकेंट्स।